Hey everybody, welcome back. So I've noticed a very interesting trend lately in my interactions and comment sections online. And it is that not only are feminists just vile misandrists, but there is nothing more misogynistic than an ignorant feminist. Welcome back to the Green Eyed Girl Podcast. So when you get into comment sections, especially on videos like mine that just make the feminist heads explode, and the worst ones, guys, are the males. Like, guys, Rachel Wilson refers to them as the sneaky fuckers, and we should, because that's exactly what they are. They're very creepy dudes. I get into it with them quite a bit, but even just the feminists in general, the women, are just insufferable. They get on and they start spewing all of the propaganda BS about how feminism was based on equality and all of this. And when you start pointing out actual historical facts and the things that have been said by feminists and encouraging them to actually go read what this was founded upon and prove out that it wasn't actually ever about equality, that they banned women from the right to vote, for the right to vote, you start understanding that, you know, everything you believe in is built on a lie, and you're either ignorant to those facts or you're communist, Satanist, misandrist. Like that's the two options. You either really understand what they said during first wave feminism and every wave of feminism, you really understand what they were doing, or you're just ignorant. When you start pointing this out and you just start telling them facts and you start telling them to actually go read history, they go 100% of the time to, you don't read, you don't know how to do research. Like 0 to misogynistic in 5 seconds flat. Oh, heaven forbid a woman actually be able to read and do her own research. Heaven forbid. I had a woman the other day tell me that I don't know how to do research, I'm not capable of doing anything. And my response was, you know, you're right. No way did I go get 2 STEM degrees and learn how to research and continue to read for my entire life and continue to learn things. I'm absolutely as ignorant as you. They don't come back to that. They don't really understand how to come back to that, because you can think whatever you want about me. I really don't give a shit. But it is a little bit ironic, and you all have to start acknowledging the irony of going from 0 to, because you're a woman, you're incapable of doing something. If you ever watch, they don't accuse Myron Gaines of that. They just go straight to the emotional, like, crybaby bitch attitude. But the minute Rachel Wilson starts spewing facts, or I start spewing facts, or any other woman starts spewing facts, you'll notice their argument is, you never actually read those things, you just make things up and blah, 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 blah. Guys, there is nothing more misogynistic than an ignorant feminist. And you start to notice the ones who aren't ignorant, because they don't make those claims. They start trying to, like, hex you with their witch voodoo occult BS, thus proving you 110% correct. Because those who actually understand what feminism was founded on, which was the occult, Satanism, communism, misandry, they'll show you. But the ignorant ones automatically go to, you're a stupid woman who's never read anything. Feminism, guys. Those of us who point out all of the lies of feminism, we're misogynistic. We hate women. I don't hate women. I actually want them to understand what it is that they're following, because You've become part of a religion that you don't even understand you've become part of. And I've watched it 1,000 times. I've watched women who grew up with reasonable morals and just normal lives fall into this trap of feminism, and the next thing you know, they're the ones going out on dates, getting a bunch of men to buy them food, but with no plans to like actually really date the guy. I had a friend who encouraged me to do that. I never want to do anything more on a first date than like a cup of coffee that I bought myself, because I didn't want to waste somebody's time and money. So, but I had friends who were like, well, I eat at the best restaurants in town 3 times a week and blah, blah, blah. And I watched that slowly devolve into all of a sudden they're killing their unborn children, and now they read tarot cards for a living. And I watched that happen to somebody I was close with. And she lost me around the second abortion, where she laughed about it. And now she reads tarot cards for a living. And I sit here and I went, okay, for some reason, like the end of like the feminist rabbit hole ends up with this. I see a lot of them get super obsessed with yoga, super obsessed with witchcraft and all of this stuff. And most of them are entirely ignorant to the fact that that's exactly what feminism was founded on. So I'm trying to catch women who haven't like gone all the way down all of those steps. I'm trying to catch them and say, hey, it leads there for a reason. You really should try to chill and just stop right here, read, understand what all this was founded on, because it was never equality. It was never about women's rights. A lot of women's rights and privileges got removed in the feminist movement. So you should probably stop and actually go read something and listen. But then they just go straight to, you never did all of this, you're not intelligent, women can't be intelligent. And it just, I mean, your feminist movement's retarded. When that's how you go, if that's the sharp turn you have to take, what is your feminist movement? Because someone's read more than you, because someone is more informed, because they were willing to go down some rabbit holes and buy more books and read things, and heard people who said, hey, this is a problem. It's not something I was ever interested in reading. I just kind of believed, like it got corrupted sometime during the sexual revolution, and, it really got bad during second wave feminism, and now all of whatever 18,000th wave we're on, this is where we are, and it just like, it got degraded. I believed that lie until I started getting more information, until other people started saying, I think Pearl was one of the first ones I heard. She started talking about like the actual terrorists, female terrorists who were part of the feminist movement. I was like, oh, okay, no, somewhere along the way, I got information that was not correct. Maybe what I think I know is not what I think I know. So then I go start reading everybody else's books and start listening to more. And I went, oh, man, I believed a lot of lies. The school system taught me a ton of BS. I need to go read more into this. I need to be more educated on my own. The funny thing about education, it doesn't actually require some professor who's done nothing but be in a classroom for their entire life to teach you something. You can, in fact, go read things on your own. So that's a great thing about it. And if your response to someone like me who actually has a thirst for knowledge, who actually, like, kind of dawned on me, hey, I've been lied to, goes out and does research and is trying to tell other women, hey, guys, like, what you think you know is not what you think you know. They lied to you. Here's a direction to go. You don't know how to research. You're just dumb. You're just making stuff up. The feminist movement is a ridiculous farce filled with ignorant people who are wildly misogynistic towards anyone who decides Any woman who decides to actually educate themselves instead of buy into the cult. Especially the men. It's really funny when it's coming from the men. Because not only are you wildly misogynistic and wildly dangerous because you're an overly emotional, ridiculous man who has zero self-control, but you're also doing it in the name of something that ultimately will get you killed. That ultimately is going to bring down the entire society. And when the strong masculine men go to recoup it, you're doomed. Like, you're literally just signing your own straight to prison death note. Will you all grow up? Will you all stop being ridiculous? Don't argue. If the only leg you have to stand on is you're stupid, you don't actually have an argument. You don't actually know history. What we were all taught in school is a lie. To all those in foreign countries who keep saying, well, you're just talking about Western feminism. Feminism globally was all founded on the same thing. You may not be as far down the rabbit hole as we have gotten. You should be looking at the West and going, oh, feminism is bad. Because back in the 60s, they weren't really waking up to this. Use Western civilization as a what not to do. So when you start getting all of these feminists saying all of these things about rights and blah, 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 and you're sitting there in your Eastern country going, oh, that's just Western feminism over there. They're terrible. You're screwed. Give it 100 years. You'll be where we are. And your great-grandchildren will be the ones sitting here saying the same thing that I'm saying. But they'll have a record on the internet of all of the idiocy you spewed, and people like us in the West who are saying, hey, this is actually what's bringing our country down. Don't fall for it. And they're going to sit there and go, man, my great-grandfather was fucking retarded. Because you are. I can forgive ignorance to a point. Because being ignorant based on you think you're educated because you went through an educational system. Believe me, I thought I was educated about all kinds of things. I studied history, guys. And I didn't see any of this until 10 years after college. Okay? When you get to the point where somebody's saying, hey, you actually don't know what you think you know and you really should go look into it, I've got books I've talked about on my podcast. I'm not going to sit here and tell you every book in my comment section. I have an entire platform here where I will give you information. I'm telling you the books that I'm reading. Start with Rachel Wilson's. It's great. She has all kinds of really good source material listed in her book. Go look it up. It's that easy. You have to do the legwork yourself. I'm not here to spoon feed you where to get every single thing. I'm not going to sit here and list out the 30 different things I've read and hey, I've read a few pages out of this book. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but I flipped through and I read this. I'm already giving you what I've learned in a nice summarized version. You're either going to go educate yourself or you're going to continue to be an ignorant fool. And I can forgive you for being an ignorant fool to a point, until you do the ridiculous thing and pretend to be a feminist and then call actual educated women ignorant and stupid and tell them they're everything that you actually are. Like, the irony is just too strong. So either grow up and go start opening books and learning for yourself, or just be a happy sheep and shut up. Get out of my comment section. You don't like what I say? Too bad. It's real. It's true. You cannot like it all day long, but you can't combat it either because you're not educated enough to do it, because you haven't bothered to go read. I've encountered some people who have read it, who really know what they're believing in, and they are some vile human beings. And when you point out, okay, you're either ignorant or you're a communist, Satanist, misandrist, they tend to disappear because they aren't ignorant and they do know that they're actually a communist, Satanist, misandrist. But they don't want to put that out online. Some of them do. That's some wild people on there. But guys, grow up. You can't both claim that it's about equality and women being able to get educated and then bitch when women actually get educated about things you're ignorant about. You really can't. Stop lying to yourself, or just go climb back into your ignorant hole. It's really okay to just ignore someone online that you don't like. It's really okay. I'm not here trying to like win everybody over. I don't care if you like me or not. If you like me, I'm thrilled that you're here. If you don't care. Go crawl away and die. It's fine. I don't care. You can get on and insult me. Just know that I mock you. My husband and I laugh about you. Okay? You don't have to comment on my material if you don't like me. You're not going to win me to your side by calling me ignorant. You're not going to win me to your side writing emotional diatribes so long that it's not even worth my time to read, and then saying, oh, well, you say you read about it. Fuck off. I do not have to read your emotional breakdown on my page. You came to me. I have every right to ignore you. I pop up in your feed and just swipe up. And I go away. It's that easy. But if you want new information, I'm here. If you're actually coming in good faith and you want to know where to start, and I say, hey, on my podcast, I talk about some books. Go watch. Here's a good one where I list a couple of books that I've read. Go through. It tends to be in my descriptions. You don't even have to give me the view. Just click on it to read the description. I list the books that I'm talking about that day in the description because I'm giving credit where credit is due for the people who have really done the legwork, where I have found additional information to start pulling more information. It's that easy, guys. If you actively want to learn, the information's there. If you actively want to be ignorant, go away. Put the shovel down. Stop digging the hole. You'll look stupid. To all of the rest of you who are not misandrists or misogynists, who really, truly just believe in truth and life and wanting to get back to it, I hope you all have a fabulous day. To everybody else, well, good luck.